यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीर वनचारि यमुनातीर वनचारि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोप कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. I welcome you all, the Vaishnavas, in today's morning class on Bhagavatam. Today we are reading from Canto 1st, Chapter 5, Sloka number 27. So before that, I would seek your blessings so that I can speak right words to glorify the Lord in the right mood at right time. So whatever I will be speaking is nothing but the repetition of the acharyas, gurus and senior devotees, what they have said and talked about the same verse. Repeat after me the shloka. Tasmin tad labdha ruchir mahamate priya shravase askilat matir mama yayaham itat sat asat swamaya पश्ये मयि ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं परे तस्मिन् स तदा लब्धा रुचेर्महामते प्रियश्रवसे अस्किलत मतिर्मम यायाहम् इतत् सत् असत् स्वमायया पश्ये मयि ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं परे तस्मिन् मत्तद् लब्धा रुचिर्महामते प्रियश्रवसे अस्किलत मतिर्मम यहाँ हमेत इतत् सत् असत् स्वमायया पश्ये मयि ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं परे. प्रभु जी,
तस्मिंस्तदा लब्धरुचेर्महामते प्रियश्रवसि यस्कलिता मतिर्मम ययाहम् एतत् सत् असत्सु मायया पश्ये मयि ब्राह्मणि कल्पितं परे तस्मिन् सदा लब्धरुचेर्महामते पश्ये मयि ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं वरे तस्मिन् सदा लब्धरुचेर्महामते प्रिया सर्वस्यास्खलिता मतिर्मम ययाहमेतत् सदसत्स्वमायया पश्ये मयि ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं परे तस्मिंस्तदा लब्धरुचेर्महामते प्रियश्रवस्यास्खलिता मतिर्मम ययाहमेतत् सदसत्स्वमायया पश्ये मयि ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं परे
At that time, labdha, achieve, ruche, taste, mahamate, O great sage, priyas sravashi, upon the Lord, askilita mati, uninterrupted attention, mama, mine, yaya, by which, aham, I, itar, all these, sat asat, gross and subtle, swamaya, one's own ignorance, Pashye, see, mai, in me, Brahmani, the supreme, Kalpitam, is accepted, Pare, in the transcendence. Translation. O great sage, as soon as I got a taste of the personality of Godhead, my attention to hear of the Lord was unflinching. And as my taste developed, I could realize that it was only in my ignorance that I had accepted gross and subtle coverings, for both the Lord and I are transcendental. Forward. Ignorance in material existence is compared to darkness. And in all Vedic literatures, the personality of Godhead is compared to the sun. Wherever there is light, there cannot be darkness. Hearing of the Lord's pastimes is itself transcendental association with the Lord, because there is no difference between the Lord and his transcendental pastimes. To become associated with the supreme light is to dissipate all ignorance. By ignorance only, the conditioned soul wrongly thinks that both he and the Lord are products of material nature. But in fact, the personality of Godhead and the living beings are transcendental, and they have nothing to do with the material nature. When ignorance is removed and it is perfectly realized that there is nothing existing without the personality of Godhead, and then nescience is removed. Since the gross and subtle bodies are emanations from the personality of Godhead, The knowledge of light permits one to engage both of them in the service of the Lord. The gross body should be engaged in acts of rendering service to the Lord, as in bringing water, cleansing the temple, or making obeisances. The path of archana, or worshipping the Lord in the temple, involves engaging one's gross body in the service of the Lord. Similarly, the subtle mind should be engaged in hearing the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, thinking about them, chanting His name. All such activities are transcendental. None of the gross or subtle senses should otherwise be engaged. Such realization of the transcendental activities is made possible by many, many years of apprenticeship in the devotional service. But simply attraction of love for the personality of Godhead, as it was developed in Narad Muni by hearing, is highly effective. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगुण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सहगुण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश। नमो ॐ कृष्णपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशकारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्रिषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, once again I welcome you to today's morning class, and the sloka that we have just read is one of the very, very important sloka in the context of this particular chapter. And what is that it is talking about? So these are some of the points that we will be highlighting in our discourse. And what is the point that is being highlighted in this verse? Shravanam. The importance and centrality of Shravanam in the process of bhakti, and its potency to revolutionize our knowledge of bhakti through service. Power of sadhu-sang. The point number 1 is power of sadhu-sang, that is, hearing enables a devotee to convert the reversal in life into opportunities for spiritual advancement. Point number 2, sadhu-sang should be accessed through seva. This is very, very important point, because I myself grappled with this particular problem, how to access sadhu-sang. Because it poses series of problems. The senior devotee may not be entertaining your queries or may not be entertaining your questions, or junior devotee is not of use for you. That kind of thinking is there. Therefore, how to access, how to make sadhu sangha available for our development is through seva. And this seva can be done in two ways. That is through gross body and through subtle body. So, by engaging in service of the Lord and His devotees. Another difficulty in the process is ignorance. So, what is ignorance? Ignorance is nothing but darkness, and knowledge is light. So, light and darkness and knowledge and ignorance is brought together in this analogy. By ignorance, the conditioned soul wrongly thinks that both Jiva and Lord are products of material nature. This is one of the most important and unwanted misgivings or misconceptions that the Jiva carries with. But in reality, both of them are transcendental and that is the realization that we need to know that Jiva and the Lord are both transcendental. The qualities same, degree may differ. Narad Muni could develop attraction and love for Krishna only by hearing, and it is highly effective. And because of that, what we know, that Narad Muni was just a simple maid servant, without education, without any congenial environment for his growth as a bhakta, could become such a powerful guru and teacher of bhakti of entire world, 3 worlds. He has got that access to travel across 3 worlds due to the power of bhakti. So don't you think that this is a miracle and this is a revolution? And that is what we are looking at that. And how can we highlight his power as a teacher of bhakti? And we know that series of examples of his best of the students. Just to mention a few, Nrugari the hunter, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Chitraketu Maharaj, and so many in the list. So, with the development of Rati, that is the Bhava Bhakti, he reached to the Bhava Bhakti stage. For Krishna, both his mind and senses got fixed onto the Lord. This is the ultimate effect of the bhakti that he heard from the Bhakti Vedantis in this particular area, in this particular place, in the company of them. So what is the realization there? Finally he says that I could see, and that to see means to experience the sweetness of God and His pastimes in person. So this is the kind of realization that Narad Muni goes through. So what are the 2 important things that happen in this particular shloka with Narad Muni? The first, that when his mother used to serve these Vedantis by doing all menial works, her son Narad Muni, a boy of 5 years, used to accompany her. And he too started serving them in his own capacity by bringing water, helping them in the process of bhakti and all such things. Because of this particular thing and his innocence, he got causeless mercy of the Vedantis. This is the first effect that he got of sadhu sangha. As a result of that, what happened? One day he could find an opportunity to eat the remnants of food left out by the Vedantis. And the moment he ate those remnants of the food, the miracle happened. The changes, the it worked as magic. It turned out to be a catalyst, an agent of change inside out. It changed his personality. Slowly and gradually, he started listening to their discourses about bhakti. He started listening Bhagavatam and Krishna Katha through them. And the more he heard, more he got attracted to the love and pastimes of Lord. And so he slowly and gradually started fixing up his mind and senses onto the Lord Krishna. So this is the way in which the intensification happened. And as he grew in bhakti, he got more installments of mercy from the Vedantis. And finally, when they were about to leave the place, they gave him the final installment of mercy. And what was that? Gave him the confidential knowledge, the most confidential knowledge, that is pure bhakti. How to go about pure bhakti, and they gave him the entire process. And how he developed that process, that will be a part of our next sloka onwards. So let us look at the two important words that we find in the sloka. One is that Labdha Ruchi. How could Narad Muni develop Ruchi, interest in Krishna Katha, in Krishna's pastimes, his form, qualities, his devotees? That is the thing that we are going to look at. So he got that knowledge how to know the devotion. He applied that particular knowledge we call Vigyan, Gyan, Vigyan. And because of that, Gyan and Vigyan coming together, this Gyan, Vigyan combination facilitated his self-realization. He realized what is what. What is the difference between the subtle body and the gross body, the Jiva and the Lord, etc., etc. The second important component is prasadam. How prasadam works. And there are 5-6 components of the magic that prasadam performs. First, it removes sins from our heart and purifies our heart. Second, it attracts us to Krishna. It makes us to glorify Krishna. It makes us to serve Krishna with love and affection. It increases our bhakti, and it finally enlightens us. It destroys ignorance from our heart, and we start seeing the things as they need to be seen. So in short, in this sloka, what we find is it is nothing but glorification of Shravanam, component of entire Navavida bhakti. Shravanam is central in this particular aspect. So before going to the detailed discourse, I will present few commentaries by Acharyas. One is from Prabodhini, it is in Hindi. मनन से आपके द्वारा भी सब कुछ ज्ञात है, इसको सूचित करने के लिए श्रील व्यासदेव को संबोधित कर रहे हैं, हे महामुनि। शब्द से तब रुचि उत्पन्न होने के बाद ही बिना प्रयास के कि मेरी विषय ग्रहणात्मिका बुद्धि की वृत्ति इन भगवान से जिनके गुणों का श्रवण बहुत प्रिय लगता है उनमें जाने लगी। अस्खलिता अर्थात मेरी बुद्धि की वृत्ति अब विषय अनुसंधान रहित मति वाली हो गई है, अर्थात भोग के प्रति विचार ही आने बंद हो गए हैं। ऐसी मति से मैंने देखा कि मैं जो भगवान का अंश हूँ और ब्रह्म स्वरूप हूँ, उसमें अपनी अविद्या के कारण ही मैंने स्थूल और सूक्ष्म शरीरों को आत्मभावना करी हुई थी। अर्थात मैं यह सोच रहा था कि मैं देवता हूँ या मैं मानव हूँ, और इस प्रकार आरोपण स्वयं पर किया हुआ था। भगवान की भक्ति से मुझे आत्म साक्षात्कार प्राप्त हुआ और अविद्या निवृत्त होने से देह और अंतकरण में आत्मा का अध्यास भी निवृत्त हो गया। यह अर्थ है कि मैंने साक्षात अनुभव किया कि मैं और भगवान दोनों भी दिव्य हैं। Another commentary from Sararth Darshani by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Having attained an excellent test, my intelligence became steadily fixed into the Lord. By that intelligence, I saw the gross and subtle body, Sat, Asat, existing in me by the influence of the Lord's material energy, to be established in Krishna, that is Brahmani. The gross body became fixed in offering respects, carrying the Lord's water pot and other actions, not in material actions for oneself. The subtle body with senses such as ear, mind and intelligence became fixed in tasting the sweetness of the Lord's qualities and form, and not in material aspects for one's own pleasure. Previously, the eye and mind were not fixed in the Lord, even by exerting much effort. That is not the case now. With the development of rati, the mind and other senses giving up the practice of fixing themselves on their material sense objects to which they had been long accustomed, became automatically fixed only on the Lord. Thus, I could see, here it means directly experience the change. So another important word in this shloka is Swamayaya. So what is that the meaning of Swamayaya? It is our illusion that we have created, ignorance. It is our illusion to enjoy life, which is the sense of Jiva's own bondage. Which is the cause of Jiva's own bondage. These coverings will be removed by engaging in Krishna's service through his own example. He is showing how these coverings of subtle body and gross body could be removed, and that he is trying to show through his own example. And what is his example? Narad Muni's story of spiritual journey in Krishna consciousness is very interesting one. Therefore, he is requesting Vyasadeva to write Srimad Bhagavatam as Krishna Katha has a potency, a power to revolutionize the world and entire humanity. He is giving his own example by glorifying Krishna and its impact through the process of devotional service. His life got transformed. He was given the most confidential knowledge, that is of pure bhakti, by the Bhakti Vedantis. Thus, Bhagwan is to be understood only by bhakti. So what are the qualifications that he showed in the process of turning out to be a good bhakta? You could remember that he was very obedient, he was self-controlled, he was self-disciplined, and he was eager, enthusiasm to learn and practice. These are some of the qualities that he showed. Because of these qualities, he got ruchi. What is another important word is labde ruchi. Narad Muni received the knowledge of bhakti, and the knowledge that he received, he applied it in his life, and God itself realized. Thus, knowledge and its application in spiritual life facilitated his self-realization. Thus, Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us how to go to Golo from Bholo. So this is one of the important assets of performing bhakti. So, the son of a maid servant becoming a great sage and becoming a great teacher only through the association of pure devotees is a miracle and revolution that we need to look at. So what is material body? Material body is composed of two bodies, the gross body and the subtle body. The gross body is a physical body. is made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. The subtle body comprises of mind, intelligence, and false ego. The mind is, what is the function of mind then? The mind is the storehouse of desires and memories. The function of intelligence is, it is the faculty of discrimination, that we discriminate between right and wrong or true and false, good and bad. And what is the function of false ego? It brings the eternal soul under the illusion and makes it identify itself with the temporary material body. So this is the function of false ego. It is instrumental in making us to feel that we are this body and nothing more than that. So the gross body is the outer dress for the soul and subtle body is the inner dress, like our shirt and banyan or our coat and inner coat like that. So these are the coverings that are creating problems in our understanding and reaching to the core of the bhakti and the transcendental knowledge. So, what are the benefits of the sadhu sangha that he enjoyed? The first benefit is that they blessed me with their causeless mercy. Once, with their permission, I took the remnants of their food. All my sins were immediately eradicated. By serving such great souls, the life of devotional service to the Lord became attractive to me. In their association, I heard narrations of Krishna's transcendentally attractive pastimes. By such regular and attentive, these are two important adjectives, regular and attentive listening, my taste for such topics increased and I reached to Bhakti level. They instructed me in the confidential knowledge, and Bhakti is the Shakti in which Narad Muni could defeat Maya. So he could remove the coverings of gross and subtle bodies because of Bhakti. And finally, what he did, and the result of which we are going to see next verse onwards, I strictly followed their instructions. So he has had all the best of the qualities of an ideal student of Bhakti. And because of that, he could relish all these things in the process. So what is our problem then? If we look at this sloka and look at ourselves, that we have ignored the real function of soul under the coverings of these two bodies. So the human form of body is specially meant for this purpose, to understand our spiritual position, which we have forgotten because of the coverings of Maya. Krishna consciousness movement is hearing and chanting about Krishna, his pastimes, and his reciprocation with his devotees. Our heart is filled with dirty things. This is the diagnosis number one. The dirty thing is misunderstandings. What is the dirty thing? The first is misconception or misunderstanding. The first misunderstanding is accepting and identifying oneself with this body. I am this body. I am American. I am Indian. I am Hindu. I am Muslim. I am Christian. So these are the misconceptions. Hearing about Krishna is a pious activity. And in what way it is pious? Pious means it cleanses our heart. So by hearing from the realized soul, we must hear from the bona fide teacher or a realized soul like Bhaktivedantis. By hearing the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam as it is, your heart will be cleansed. So, Abhadrani, this is one of the words, means that we are under the influence of Rajogun and Tamogun. That makes us abhadra, inauspicious. Even Sattvagun is a part of, is mixed with Rajogun and Tamogun. Just like, so there we can use the analogy of a rain. Just like rainwater falling from the sky is crystal clear, distilled water. But as soon as it comes in contact with the ground, it becomes muddy and dirty. So at the present moment, our consciousness has become dirty due to our contact with material nature. This is our disease. Krishna Katha means topics in the matter of Krishna. There are two topics. One is Bhagavad Gita. It is spoken by Krishna. Another is Srimad Bhagavatam, that is spoken about Krishna. Both of them are equally potent because they are connected with Krishna. So what is Shravanam then? Shravanam means to hear, to receive knowledge. And next is Kirtanam. Kirtanam means to distribute and describe that knowledge to others. This is what exactly Narad Muni did hereafter. We can look at certain examples. One of the examples that I have drawn from is from Nectar of Instruction by Rupa Goswami. And this is from Shloka number 7. Shat Krishna Nama Charitadhi Sitapi Avidya Pito Patap Rasnasya Na Rochikat Nu Kinto Adarat Anudina Khulu Saiva Justa Swadini Kramad Bhavati Tat Gat Mul Antri. So what is the meaning of this particular shloka? Krishna's name, pastimes are all absolute and sweet, like sugar. But due to ignorance, one cannot relish them. Just as the tongue of afflicted by jaundice tastes sweet as bitter, yet by careful and daily treatment, eating sweets or chanting Krishna, a natural relish awakens in the tongue. To taste Krishna now, and the jaundice of ignorance is destroyed at the root. So what is our condition? How we become healthy spiritually? Healthy condition. A jiva is naturally an eternal servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarupa hai Krishna re Nityadas. But what is our present condition? We are in a diseased condition. This arises when the jiva forgets Krishna due to the jaundice of timeless ignorance, avidya, by which one gets attracted by Maya or the materialistic way of life. Thus, the jiva loses taste for the chanting of Krishna's names. Material world is characterized by Maya, that is a false shelter, whereas spiritual world is characterized by Krishna, the real shelter. So what is the medicine? We have seen the healthy condition, we have seen the diseased condition. What is the medicine then? Just as sugar candy is the medicine for jaundice, Krishna's name is the remedy to improve spiritual health of humanity. But just as sugar initially tastes bitter to a jaundiced patient, the holy name is not immediately relishable to one who is materially engrossed. This is from Padma Purana. So the treatment is then, by regularly taking sugar candy, one's jaundice is cured and sugar becomes tasteful to him. Similarly, by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in sadhu sangha with enthusiasm, faith and patience, one is freed from false ego, ahankar, born of ignorance, avidya, and one revives a natural taste for Krishna Katha and one's real spiritual identity. And what is our real spiritual identity? That I am not this body, I am spiritual soul and I am eternal servant of Krishna. Wherever there is sunshine of Krishna, consciousness is cleansed, Chetodarpan Marjanam. One is freed from the blazing fire of material existence. So what are the stages of bhakti then? Navda bhakti. Shraddha, that is faith, sadhu sangha, association of devotees. Bhajana kriya, serving Krishna by daily chanting Hare Krishna mantra and following regulative principle. Nishtha, having faith fixed in Krishna's activities. Ruchi, developing taste for such activities. Asakti, attraction to bhakti. Bhava, experiencing ecstasy in bhakti. So what happens when you reach to the bhava stage? First thing is that you lose interest in bodily conception. You lose interest in material opulence and knowledge of attraction, understanding of super Lord. And in the prema bhakti, what happens? Finally, you are in the company of Lord. And so you are free from the disturbances of Maya. So this is another concept that we need to see. As far as bhakti is concerned, one of the features that we find as it is applicable to disease, it is applicable to bhakti also. And what is that? Infectious nature. Disease is infectious. So in what way bhakti is infectious? We can look at a couple of examples. Haridas Thakur and his encounter with the prostitute. So she was sent by Mr. Khan, Ramchandra Khan, to deviate him from bhakti, to pollute his consciousness. On the other hand, because of the power of bhakti, she herself got converted into bhakti. This is one example. Another example is South India tour of Lord Chaitanya. When he was on this tour, he met the washerman also embraced Lord Chaitanya. And he also shouted Hari Bol and started dancing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left the scene. So his wife started looking at him. What has happened to my husband? Why he is shouting Hari Bol and why he is dancing ecstatically? And she touched his body. So what is happening? So because of that touch, she also started shouting Hari Bol and started dancing. Village came to know that something has wrong happened to this couple. So they approached them, and men touched him and women touched her, and entire village community got infected of Hari Bol and Bhakti. So this is another Hari Bol and Bhakti. So this is another example that such a powerful teacher who gave us the Bhakti process and became one of the powerful teachers. So in conclusion, what we can say is that power of bhakti is manifested through Narad Muni, through his own example, and given us the urgency that we need to come to temple. So what is the role of ISKCON temple then? Temple is also providing you an opportunity, a facility to hear Bhagavatam daily, Nityam Bhagavatam Seva. This is the purpose. And I am hopeful about the process, and I could anticipate that amidst the audience there could be many Narad Munis who would internalize the message of Bhagavatam and hearing and will concentrate and meditate upon the process and deliver the conditioned souls in future as per their ability. So with these words, I stop here. We invite any questions or query or comment, if there is any. No? Okay, I'll stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री श्री राधा गोविंद देव जी की जय, समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय. Thank you very much for your patience and being such a nice audience. Hare Krishna.